Thank you, Alex. On the phone line here this morning, I'm happy to have on and talk with 35th District Representative Drew MacEwen. Good morning, Drew.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
What do you got for me coming up on the legislative session? Anything moving here?
Well, we are caucusing a little later this morning here and getting up to speed on where everything is at. I don't think we've got any substantial breakthroughs. We did, as I mentioned last week, and the governor had backed off some of his tax proposals, and that's helped the process. And we continue to get some minor lineups done on the various budget versions, but there has not been a substantial movement since last week. And again, unfortunately, I think we'll be looking at the end of June on the calendar for having this thing done.
The other thing from last week to this week, there has been obviously some incidents at Evergreen. I've been watching your social media accounts. You've been making some comments on that. Where are you at with what's been going on there?
Thanks for bringing that up. I actually met with myself and a couple of other representatives, met with the president, George Bridges, yesterday, and the vice president and the government relations person. And we had a very good, frank conversation, and there are a number of challenges. It's easy to armchair quarterback and say, "Oh, you could have done this differently or done that differently." And I get his viewpoint that at that moment in time, his desire was to de-escalate the tensions on the campus. I get that, and I think the gist of our conversation was that there needs to be some consequences that are swift. And I don't know if severe is the right word, but certainly more than a slap on the hand for those that were very disruptive to the campus. And I want to stress, these things have a tendency to take a life of their own. I am not, you're looking at the number of students that are involved in this, and it's 25 to 30 out of a couple of thousand people on that campus that unfortunately made things much worse. I just think it's a sad commentary on our society today, though, that when and we can dance circles around who said what or whose actions were what, but at the end of the day, the catalyst in all of this is that there's just this general feeling in society that you can't have a civilized debate, and you can't. If somebody, in this case, this particular professor that spoke up and said, the way we're going about this is wrong, we need to do it differently, and he was vilified, absolutely vilified, including by some members of the faculty, and that was brought up in our discussion yesterday as well, but certainly by a very vocal minority of students, minority in the sense of the numbers of students, not anything else. Mm-hmm. But it's a sad commentary that you can't express a different point of view today without not very often without having really just being shouted down. So and we talked about that, and there's just changes that need to occur both within society in a much broader sense, but also I think there's some things that Evergreen can do at a more concentrated level to help that along. And so we had a very good conversation along those lines, and we'll continue to monitor things as we move forward. And I would stress too. I mean, I personally know and have worked with a number of people that have graduated from Evergreen. This is not about everybody who's ever gone through those doors. It's not about that. It's about having following the rules of law, whether that be institution laws or the laws of the state, and and being civilized about how you go about descending.
Would you go as far as fellow Representative Manweller from Ellensburg introducing a bill last week ratcheting down the state funding for Evergreen, making it basically a private school? Yeah,
he and I co-sponsored it. He's the lead one on it. Okay. And I'm going to be frank. I mean, the bill is really a shot across the bow that, hey, if we don't get stuff together, these are the ultimate consequences. And so I am on that bill. But I'm again just being pragmatic. Sometimes we do those things to make a very public point that, hey, we're serious about making changes here. If you're not going to, and so again, that's highly unlikely that bill will go anywhere. It was the way that we can message some things that you need to get stuff under control here and quickly. And I don't want to see happen to Evergreen or to any other publicly funded college in our state happen what did to the University of Missouri, and they didn't get things under control. And you know what? There's been a huge public backlash. Their enrollments have dropped. They've had transfers out. That's the real consequence, is people quit going. And so for us, it was just a message that we need to fix this. We need to get this under wraps quickly.
Anything else going on that we'd like to pass along to your constituents today? Great seeing you at the parade. That was a good
one thing I would think that's a real good positive, even though we don't have substantial news report on it, is the various members that are directly involved with the K-12 negotiations continue to meet nearly daily, and some days are better progress than others, but there has not been a slowdown, even though things may not be in the news per se. There's not been a slowdown in the effort to get those items addressed.
35th District Representative Drew MacEwen, always nice talking with you, and we'll check in next week, get some more updates on things going on in the legislature.